think is going to be the biggest steal in this draft. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So the NBA draft is coming up and we all want to know who goes where, what trades are going to be made, and which team is going to end up with the best player in the draft. So today I want to talk about a few things that may happen on draft day, some trades, who I think is going to be the biggest steal in the draft, and Rookie of the Year, possibly. So first, let's talk about the Warriors pick, which is getting a lot of coverage. Now, personally, I think it really depends on the landscape of what's going on outside of the draft that determines whether the Warriors trade their pick or not. Now, that's kind of a cop-out answer, but what I mean by that is behind the scenes, they're making phone calls and talking to teams left and right that we obviously don't know about. So if they're getting the feeling that they can get another star or some quality players that they want to add to their team by trading their pick, if they feel that they have a good trade in the works, then they'll probably trade their pick. But if the feeling is they're not sure or the teams are kind of hesitant, they may just keep their pick just in case, I just spit, and use their lottery pick to draft somebody like James Wiseman, who fits the position that they need to be filled, their center position. Someone like James Wiseman, of course, is super talented, has a lot of potential, and could be their future star long term. The likelihood of them trading the pick used to be like 90%, like people were 100% confident, well I said 90%, people were mainly confident that they were gonna trade the pick, but now I feel like it's getting more towards 50-50, people are on the fence. And then we heard the report that the Knicks, the Pistons, and the Bulls want the Warriors pick. And here's what I think that they need to offer, or what would be the trade offer in order to get that pick. I think the Knicks would have to give up Mitchell Robinson and their number 8 pick to get that number 2 pick. Now, why this would be a satisfying deal for the Warriors is to get Mitchell Robinson, a really nice young center who has a lot of potential. He's a great shot blocker. All he needs to do is just stay out of foul trouble. But that's something the Warriors can teach him and, teach him how to stay on the floor better and not get ticky-tack fouls. So they get a nice young prospect in Mitchell Robinson, and they still have the number 8 pick, which is a lottery pick, and they can draft someone who has a lot of potential to be another star as well. Draft boards have Killian Hayes go number 8, which would be the Knicks pick. So that's not a bad pickup either. I mean, he's a point guard. The Warriors could use another guard off the bench. So if I'm the Warriors, I'm not mad at that trade. The second team, Chicago Bulls, would have to give up Daniel Gafford and their number 4 pick. Now, Daniel Gafford was a second-round pick, right? He was a second-round pick? I think he was a second-round pick. And he showed a lot of potential in his rookie season that he can be a great rim protector, and he has a lot of potential on the defensive end and the offensive end. He'll be a nice young piece to add alongside the Warriors core, as well as, of course, now the number 4 pick, which is, again, a lottery pick, and it's not too far away from number 2. So there are a lot of options that they could take at number 4, like Obi Toppin if he's there, who I think, spoiler alert, actually, I won't spoil it for you. Let's just say he comes up in the video a little bit later. And Obi Toppin has so much potential, which like I said, we'll talk about a little bit later. But if I'm the Warriors, I get Daniel Gafford and possibly Obi Toppin, or they could take Oniko Kwandu. I think I pronounced his name right. I'm sorry if I didn't. Maybe Denny Abdil will be there. So they have a lot of options with that pick because it's not too far away from number 2. And then the last team would be the Pistons, and I think they would have to give up Luke Kennard and their number 7 pick. Now, we saw Luke Kennard last year when he was healthy. He was shooting lights out. I mean, he was one of the most valuable players for their team. Obviously, besides Derrick Rose, who we all love, and then, of course, Andre Drummond. And then Christian Wood really came into his own later in the year. He actually was really playing well earlier in the year, too, but because of Andre Drummond, you couldn't see it as much. However, that's not the point. Luke Kennard is who we're talking about here, and Luke Kennard is a great shooter. He's still young and has a lot of potential and time to develop. He would fit amazing in the Warriors system, and I think they would love to have someone like him on their team. And then, of course, like I said, the Pistons' number 7 pick, again, out of all 3 of these teams, they all have lottery picks. So, number 7 pick, you got a lot of options there. There are a lot of players in this draft, and although people are saying it's a weak draft, we haven't seen a lot of the players play too much because, the tournament was canceled. We didn't get to see all their talent showcased in the tournament, and there was just a lot of games not played, and it's been a while since people have seen them. I mean, now they're having the workouts and all that, but it's been a while since we've seen them actually play in a game. So it's kind of a free fall in terms of this draft, and it could be a weak draft or it could be a really strong draft. and everybody doesn't really know what to expect. So the number 7 pick could be something amazing, and the Warriors are very smart, like I've said in previous videos. Their front office knows how to draft, they know how to develop talent, so I wouldn't be surprised if they found a little steal in the draft at number 7, even though it's still a lottery pick. Besides the Warriors trading their pick, which everybody's talking about, the next thing I want to talk about is who I think is going to be the biggest steal in this draft. Personally, I think one of the biggest steals in the draft is going to be Cassius Winston. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and say I watch college basketball all the time, because I definitely do not. I do not know every single person. However, I have watched Cassius Winston a lot, and I do know that he's a super quality player who's being so underrated. He was the heart and soul of that Michigan team and helped lead them to the Final Four in 2019. If you want to talk about someone who could shoot lights out, that's him. Cassius Winston can shoot lights out. I mean, he shoots 3. He shot 43% from 3, I think, this past season. And overall, he probably shot 40% from 3 or around there. He's a great shooter. He has amazing court vision, and he works so hard. I've seen some draft boards have him going at like 56. I think that's ridiculous. He's definitely a first-round pick in my opinion. And I think any team who gets him is gonna be super lucky. Some draft boards I've seen also have him go like 25-ish, which would be around like the Celtics. I think they have the 26th pick. So personally, like I said, I think that he is someone you should definitely jump at because he works really hard. He has a great IQ. He has the court vision, and he can shoot lights out. The reason people are down on him is his height because he's 6'1", but there's plenty of 6'1" guards in the league, so I don't really think that's the case. More so, it's that he's 22. And as you know, when you get older and you're an older player in the NBA draft, they look at you as ancient. I think that's ridiculous in my opinion because just because you spend more years in college does not mean you're not NBA ready. I mean, let's take Tim Duncan, for example. He spent all 4 years at Wake Forest. He was the number 1 overall pick, and people consider him the greatest power forward ever. Or let's talk about Steph Curry. Steph Curry came out of Davidson as a junior, so he was 21 at the time. And we all know who Steph Curry is. We all know what Steph Curry has done. 2-time MVP, 1-time unanimous MVP, 3-time champ, the greatest shooter we've ever seen. So the fact that he's 22 should not be something that people are scared of. He clearly has shown that he has developed throughout college and he's getting better, and he will definitely work hard for any team that picks him. So shout out to you, Cassius Winston. I hope you do well in your NBA career. So now let's talk about Obi Toppin. I keep talking about him before, but what am I gonna say about him? I think that he has the potential to be Rookie of the Year. Now, of course, this obviously depends on which players go where, which draft day trades are made. So like, for example, if the Warriors keep their pick and they don't trade their number 2 pick and they draft James Wiseman, chances are that James Wiseman's not going to be Rookie of the Year because he's going to be playing alongside Steph, Clay, Draymond, and Andrew Wiggins, and he's not going to get as many touches or as many minutes as he would if he was on a team that's developing, like the Knicks, So it wouldn't be as fair of a comparison. So given that all things are equal, I'm saying I think Obi Toppin has a great shot. Right now, he's projected to go about 4 on most draft boards, which would be the Chicago Bulls, unless they trade it to the Warriors. Obi Toppin went from a 0-star recruit to the National Player of the Year. If that doesn't show growth, I don't know what does. And he's another one where the downside to him is that he's 22. Again, in my opinion, ridiculous. If he's the best player, if he shows the most potential, if he has the most talent, it shouldn't matter what his age is, unless he's like 35. And even then, we got some 35-year-old players who are still balling. LeBron. The point is, just because he's 22, clearly people see his talent because he's a lottery pick, and I don't think that he should fall in the draft because I have seen some draft boards that have him going lower just because he's 22. He's a great offensive player. We see his explosiveness. I think he'll bring a lot of value, especially to the Bulls who are developing a culture, and he would fit nicely alongside forgot his name for a second. Wendell Carter Jr., they still got Lauri Markkanen, they have Zach LaVine. Ooh, him and Kobe White would be such a nice tandem. So I think that he will get a lot of playing time, assuming that he goes to the Chicago Bulls, with the number 4 pick, with all the projections. And being that he's going to be in a system where he's going to be developing alongside other young players, I think he has a good shot to win Rookie of the Year because he has a lot of talent, and we should stop doubting him just because he's 22. Now, my team to watch for on draft day to make a trade is the Boston Celtics. What else did you expect? Danny Ainge is always looking to make some kind of move. I mean, they always have so many picks. They've stockpiled picks for years. Now they're at the point where they probably think they're a piece or 2 away from winning a championship. And they may be right, they may be wrong, we'll see. However, because they have 3 first-round picks, I think that they're probably the most likely team, besides maybe the Warriors and all that stuff in the, they have a lot of picks to trade their picks. So like I said, they have 3 picks. So chances are, I think personally, they might take 2 of those picks and package them for another player, another star, another quality player. I don't know what exactly they're packaging for. However, I think that, although the report came out today, I think I saw that they're looking to get Victor Oladipo, right? I saw that correctly. I'll have to double check that. However, I think they're going to take 2 of their picks and try to package that to get another player to add to their team, another rotational piece, and then use the 3rd pick to draft a potential star or someone who could just add, be on the rotation, add quality to the team. Like I said, Danny Ainge is always looking to make moves, and they already have their core of Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Kemba. Gordon Hayward's probably going to opt in for his $34 million, because why wouldn't he? And then you still have Daniel Tice, Valentine. Wow, English. Daniel Tice guaranteed for $5 million next year as well. So, and you have Taco Fall. Hello, Taco, we love you. They have all their core players locked in. And to be honest, like I said, they may be right, they may be wrong, but I don't think they're too far off thinking that they're only a couple pieces away from a championship, or at least getting to the finals, because Jason Tatum, that's a bad man right there. Jaylen Brown, definitely underrated still underrated. Kemba is great. Gordon Hayward, when he was healthy, he was playing really good. Like, we didn't get to see it because he got healthy and then got hurt again. But once he finally got his legs under him, he was playing really nicely. And I think with another piece, they could make the finals. Maybe. You still got Miami to play with, because Miami is not playing. And then you gotta see what the other teams do, of course. Milwaukee, Philly, Toronto. So we gotta see what everybody else does. But they're definitely in contention to make the finals if they grab another piece. Now, whether or not they win the finals, that's another story, because I think that the Warriors are gonna be 2021 NBA champions. That's just my opinion. Of course, that depends if everyone stays healthy and depending on what they do with their picks and how they look and everything. So maybe that's a little bit early prediction, but I think that they have a good shot to win the 2021 NBA championship. I mean, you got Steph, Clay, Draymond. Like I said, smart front office, they're gonna make some moves. So I give them a good shot to win the championship. And once everything is settled, spoiler alert, I will make my predictions for next year. But that you'll have to wait for. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the report that came out that the Magic want to move up in the draft and they're willing to trade Aaron Gordon. Now, I looked at the draft board and I looked at the teams that are above them, and I thought about it for a while, and I really couldn't see too many realistic options, because the Knicks, the Bulls, and the Pistons want to move up and get the Warriors pick, so they're out. And then a lot of the teams above them, it doesn't really make sense for them to give up their pick, because either they have a high enough pick that they want to keep it, or they're not really in like a win now mode that Aaron Gordon's going to be like their piece to save them. Like Aaron Gordon's a great player, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying like the Washington Wizards, for example. I don't know if Aaron Gordon's going to do anything for them, because they're trying to develop and start all over. Aaron Gordon's someone you add to a championship team or someone who's in contention, because he's a really good player and he can help bring you to that championship level as your 3rd, 4th option, whatever he may be. Like I said, he's a great player. He adds a lot of value, and I'm sure a lot of teams would love to have him, but they don't want to give up their lottery pick for him because they're not trying to win a championship right now. And he's kind of on the championship now timeline. The only trade that I thought was kind of realistic was the Suns giving up their number 10 pick for Aaron Gordon and the Magic number 15 pick. And the reason that this kind of made sense is because we've seen a lot of reports now, the Suns possibly trading for Chris Paul. And I think that, according to those reports, I guess, that they're in win now mode and they think they're going to win a championship very soon. So if that's the case, then Aaron Gordon's a perfect fit. Because let's say you can get Chris Paul without giving up the number 10 pick, although I think that'd be kind of hard, but who knows? I don't know. I'm not the, one making the trades. If they can, and all they have to give up is their number 10 pick, then that's not a bad trade if they get Chris Paul. And then keep DeAndre Ayton. So think about it. You got a starting 5. They probably have to give up Mikal Bridges, like I said. So you have the starting 5 of Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Kelly Oubre. Oh wait, Kelly Oubre's a free agent. We have to see what happens with Kelly Oubre, actually. I forgot about that too. Let's just say Kelly Oubre is there. So then we'll say Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Kelly Oubre, Aaron Gordon, and DeAndre Ayton as your starting 5. I'm not mad at that. Plus, they'll have the number 15 pick, so it's not too far off from the 10th pick. You can still get a really quality player, and the Suns are really young, and they're still developing their talent. So worst comes to worst, they find another star at number 15, and they help develop him alongside Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. And then, of course, the Magic at the number 10 pick, which I'm sure they want like the number 1 pick. But, I mean, 10, like I said, it's not that far off, but sometimes 5 places in the draft is like an eternity. Sometimes, you know, between 10 and 11 is, let me think of a good example. Steph Curry, we'll bring up Steph Curry again. Sorry, Knicks fans. Steph Curry, number 7 pick in the 2009 draft from the Warriors. Number 8 was the Knicks. 1 pick can make the difference. So number 10 pick could be their future star to put alongside Jonathan Isaac and Vucevic. And there you have it. Those are my opinions on the draft coming up so soon. I am excited to watch, as I'm sure you guys are as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time. Bye.